We're going to take a look at the pattern layout screen. That's the screen that you can see here, and it's usually the screen that appears after you have loaded your shapes. And I've loaded up a few here so that I can illustrate a few of the points as we go along. The first thing that you'll see, top left of the screen, is your pattern editing screen icon. So that's this one here. And this takes you through to where you can start doing lots of different selections, grouping, welding, aligning, and so forth. I'll be covering this in a separate video, so I won't spend too much time in here just now. The next option down is your auto layout features, and these are very creative and very clever and useful. So if I click on that icon, you'll see now that you have three icons down the left hand side of the screen. And these help us get the most out of the material that we are cutting, whether that be cardstock or fabric or any other type of substrate. There's a clever word for you. The first option is to really just jiggle those shapes around to take up the least amount of space on your cutting mat. So if I type on that, keep your eyes on the cutting mat to see what happens. And there we can see those shapes now take up less than half the space that they originally did. And the machine has achieved this by flipping the word, by rotating various of the different shapes, and also by really bunching them up as close as it can. If I then choose this second option, this positions the shapes again to take up as little space as possible, but this time it's done them so that they all either sit upright or downright, if that makes sense. It's basically flipped them vertically in order to keep them running in a specific direction. This is useful if you have a patterned paper or a patterned fabric that has a directional pattern, so it either runs up or down. And the last option that we have is where it keeps everything in their original orientation, but again tries to use as little space as possible on your cutting mat. Those three things alone, I think, are a fabulous feature of the software in the scan and cut machines because they are a money saver. They save us using lots of different material and leaving lots of unused space. Speaking of unused space, we can use the scanning feature here to get a preview of what's on our cutting mat onto the screen, and I will cover this in a later video. The next option that we have over on the right is Add, and this is where we can go back into our pattern library and select any of the shapes that we want to and then position them on the mat. If however you run out of space or the shape that you want to load is too big to fit on the remaining space, you will get this error message. Not enough space on the mat. It's fairly self-explanatory. Gives you a little bit of guidance about checking the pattern size, the space on the mat, the cutting area, or the pattern interval settings. Again, we will cover these later. So I will go back, I will change this size and decrease it, and then try again. Okay, so there you can see. And what it's done is it's not always put it as the last shape on the mat, it's put it in the first available space that it can fit that shape into, which again is a clever addition. The next option we have is Save. So once we've loaded up all of our designs and we've created a layout that works for us for this particular project, we might want to recall that in the future without having to go back into all of the individual sections or sources that provided us with these designs. So we can save it as one design. Depending on your machine, will dictate how many options you have for saving. So on my machine I've got the ability to save it to the machine's memory, to a USB stick, to my computer via a cabled connection, or to the cloud, Scan and Cut Canvas, or as it's now called, Canvas Workspace. I'll save it to the machine for now. Now if there is something in there that I'm already working on and I go to save it again, I can either choose to overwrite this design or to create a new file with the additions. So I'll change it and save it as a new one. It's then given a file number. Now we can't change this in the machine's memory, however we can change it in our computer. and I will give you tips and guidance on how to do that again in another video later in this course. And there we go, that's now saved. When we come on to loading from the memory, you will see how we can actually retrieve that and load that up onto our cutting mat. These last two options are based on what we then want to do with these designs. If you don't see this icon, you either haven't got the foiling and embossing functions turned on in your machine, and we'll cover that when we get to settings, or you haven't got the latest version of the software installed. So I would suggest going back in this course to where we cover that and updating your machine before you continue. And then when you click OK, actually I should cover, obviously when you come on to do that, here are your options all lined up for you. We will cover those when we get onto those accessory packs. And when you click OK, you are taken to the last screen where you choose either to draw or cut. Here you also have access to your settings as well. Again, we'll cover that in a later video. So that is your pattern layout screen, and it's the one you will come across, I would say, the most, if not the second most. So it's worth having a look around, having a little play, and really discovering what that screen is all about before moving on to the next section of videos.